Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the October 24th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. I am Caleb Black. Luke, the Big Dog Williams, our in-studio producer, the Mighty Max Fury. Guys, it's Saturday. It's time to talk some wrestling. How we doing, Luke?
Doing all right. Doing a whole lot better now because why? We didn't.
We hit 100 subscribers. Our first goal. You could be a little bit more excited.
I'm fantastically excited.
I am super excited. This is amazing.
I want to meet Black Scrubs.
I want to be Scrubs. Ooh, and Black Scrubs. Thank you guys so much for your support.
Yes.
We really appreciate it. Our first goal was 100. And just to get it out of the way now, we've been promising forever to do the drunk review of a show. We promised it initially with the last AEW pay-per-view. We didn't get around to doing it. But stay tuned, because later tonight, in celebration of the 100 subscribers, you are going to get the drunk review of Bound for Glory.
With the added that if it's presentable to be heard on YouTube
Right.
and won't get us flagged, you will get a drunken review.
Yeah, drunk review of Bound for Glory coming your way later. But right now, fellas, it is time to talk about the news in pro wrestling this week. What do we got?
Alex Reynolds on AEW was actually knocked out
Knocked
cold.
the F out, was he?
Sent through Twitter telling everyone that everything was taken care of, that he's okay, he's recuperating. Yeah. That's awesome news. But more on the injury front, Abaddon also injured in a taping for AEW Dark.
Yep.
Next week. Nothing's been released. All we know is that she was hospitalized due to the injury. We hope that she recovers well. Also, Rey Fenix, injured in his match against Pentagon, has now been taken out of the title tournament, and Pentagon will replace Rey Fenix.
AEW. Want to wrestle, but also want to get hurt?
Right?
And, we're not making fun of anybody getting injured, but man, it is the week. We thought 2 weeks ago was bad. And then this week just keeps following up. Guys keep getting hurt. It's such a shame, man. Especially when Alex Reynolds, if you watched when he got knocked out and they just didn't do anything.
It was scary.
He was just out. He was out on the floor, and it took, a good 2 or 3 minutes for someone to respond and be like, oh shit, he's really out.
Yeah, it was really a scary moment. It is in this line of business.
It ain't
you don't know what to do. You know what I mean? If something happens, it's like, well, you're so used to being hurt that you don't know when someone is actually hurt.
Right. We send our best wishes, health recovery. Everybody, please get well soon, get well safe, and just take care of each other out there, guys, because I'll be a son of a bitch.
Raheem Raju signed a multi-year deal with Impact Wrestling.
He just tweeted out how he was a fan at the 2006 Bound for Glory in the audience, and how much it meant to him. And now here he is defending the X Division Championship 14 years later as a representative for Impact, signs that multi-year deal. And I got to be honest, man, Raheem Raju is so talented.
Yes.
I remember I pointed that out over several videos. Like, technically in the ring, the guy's great.
Yeah, he's it's his motion is so fluid. Like it doesn't look like it's not choppy like sometimes you're like, that kind of looked like that was choppy. No, he's really well done.
One thing that I think is super cool is that if you are an avid Impact watcher, you really got a chance to see him. Like, he comes to the TV, he works his way up, he's a champion now, but like, there's been a really good little build behind him. Yeah. And he worked really hard to get there, so I'm excited about Raheem Raju defending the X Division title tonight. We are going to get into that later on with our pay-per-view pre-show, but moving on.
The Undertaker has been confirmed for Survivor Series. Not confirmed in a wrestling role as of yet, but who knows? Never know what you might see. 30 years of the Dead Man, Survivor Series.
I'm a huge Undertaker fan. We all know that. Any chance I get to see the Dead Man is always going to be a good deal. So I'm excited for Survivor Series. I think I'm really excited just in general to be a wrestling fan right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, things are starting to heat up a little bit.
There's some good stuff happening out there. There's some really bad stuff, which we're going to get into.
Don't worry. We won't break out into song.
Don't. Don't get me started. Not yet. Save it.
I mean, really, there's not a whole lot in the news other than
injuries and
a couple re-signings.
Bound for Glory, Hell in a Cell. We've got some pay-per-view pre-show reviews coming up here
Ben
shortly.
Carter signed with the WWE.
I saw that, yeah.
Just 2 or 3 days ago. Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I mean...
That developmental program, man. Keeps picking up talented people.
It's something.
Keeps it up.
WWE started trademarking names for the UK brand.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
I think that their plan is to really put a lot behind NXT UK this go around.
Yeah. Well, the reason, one of the reasons they're doing that is because AEW's ratings in the UK are astronomical. Like, AEW is a hot brand in the UK, so obviously they want to get behind their NXT UK brand and kind of combat those ratings.
When Sky Sports picked up AEW rather than the WWE deal that they had towards the beginning of all this, really put a hurting on WWE television over in the United Kingdom,
which is great. I'm excited. I love NXT UK. Obviously, again, Walter is just
sick.
The man,
He's
just
sick.
The man, the hardest hitting SOB who ever lived. Love it. And they've got a really talented roster. And I don't, I know they only get the hour on the network, and a lot of people aren't as familiar with them here. But really, if you have access to the network, watch some NXT UK, because that NXT, anytime they have a tournament, some of the best wrestling ever.
Not only the watching the NXT UK, but watch some of the Evolve.
Yeah.
And the ICW wrestling and stuff that they've added, what they call the independence, which is far from the independence.
Right.
But, watch some. I mean, you get background on Walter.
Yeah.
Some AEW guys pop
AEW
up on
guys
there.
As well, yeah.
Which is WWE's way of like,
Aleister Black, Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah. Riddle's done some stuff over there for the Tough Man thing they did in Canada. I mean, there are several different shows.
Pete Dunne and...
the WXW, the German weekly program. Now they have a weekly program.
Really?
Doing it on there.
Check that out.
Shogun 2020, I think is what the episodes are called.
Who'd have thought in today's world the WWE would own an indie library?
Oh, speaking of WWE libraries, they are now going with a weekly podcast every day of the week, a different podcast on the WWE Network starting this week. You've got Uncool with Alexa Bliss, which is great. Corey Graves is After the Bell.
Love
Sam Roberts' Not Sam podcast. Lillian Garcia's podcast is now going to be on the network.
I would listen to her do whatever she wanted.
I would listen to her read the phone book.
Yep.
The New Day podcast is going to take place on the weekends.
With all three guys?
All three guys. Yes, I'm so excited.
But they're all three going to be there?
They're all
going to be together?
They're all three going to be there, sir, I promise. And there's another one that escapes my mind. I'm not really sure. But the other one, once again, I don't know the name. If you do, comment it.
Please.
But the first guest for that one is Drew McIntyre.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, I love the fact that finally, when the network was announced originally, Booker T was going to have a late-night
talk show, man. I really wanted that to happen.
They're really starting to get into that format now with all these live video podcasts and stuff. Video podcasts and stuff. I mean, it's great. It's a good time to be a wrestling fan. If you have the network, $9.99 I don't think is a whole lot to ask for.
It's not.
Also, not a sponsor. Gotta say not a sponsor, but Internet Wrestling Television.
Yeah. Check us out. Hashtag FU Anna, baby.
Also, you got the High Spots Wrestling Network.
Hey,
not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor here either. Impact, their entire streaming service is free this weekend.
Till Sunday night at midnight.
So if you don't know anything about Impact or what was formerly TNA and you want to educate yourself, check it out, man. You get to relive some of the best moments in Impact. And again, they're not sponsoring us. This is just coming from a couple of guys who love it.
Also, they have Laredo Professional Wrestling. They have Mr. Ethan Page's...
Mr. Ethan Page, the Karate Man.
Alpha Pro.
Yeah.
That he runs on there. Shows really updated shows. I think the last one for Alpha Pro was like towards the end of 2019 that's on there.
Yeah.
Very good stuff. Very entertaining stuff. They also have original programming and stuff just like the network does everywhere. But once again, not a sponsor. Nope. But check it out. I mean, that's pretty much it for the news.
That's what we got going on, guys.
Wrestling.
You know what to do. Like, subscribe, leave us a comment down below if we left anything out. Hit us up on Facebook at facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. And now, follow us on Twitter.
Yes.
What's our Twitter handle? Because you made it and I forget.
It's at Pro Wrestling TD.
That's right.
Capital T, capital D.
No, not to be confused with Pro Wrestling STD. No. Follow us on Twitter at Pro Wrestling TD.
It doesn't itch at all, I promise.
It might bite, though. We'll be sure to start live tweeting some things, keep in contact. It's going to be a good show.
Yeah, bro.
Especially
now that we've reached 100 subscribers,
all bets are off.
Let's go for 150. Let's do this. I think
that's our goal. Guys, stay tuned. We have a stacked show, and coming up next is This Week in Wrestling, starting right now.
One of us.